I don't know how it happened, but I was super lucky. They invited me to the movie premiere of Black Adam. It was like the worldwide premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Beast was there and The Rock, and we had front row seats right in front of the cast. It was
Yeah.
crazy. And yeah, that was my first time ever walking the carpet.
Awesome.
So it was a cool experience, and it was perfectly tied together because I was gonna travel for TwitchCon San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
and then the premiere was like a few days after that. So GXR was down to keep me in NA for longer so I can attend the premiere, which was great. And they, in fact, also, like, that's why I'm saying GXR is the best.
Welcome to Tardux, a podcast for content creators to come on, share their stories, experiences, and advice. And today I am super excited. I have Reddish. Welcome.
It's nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And thank you for taking the time to pop on. So we start things off with 3 random questions just to get the juices flowing. Are you ready?
I am. Just so
Okay.
people know, he didn't tell me any question beforehand, so
Exactly. Yes. No cheating here. All
I'm
right.
curious.
Favorite place you ever traveled to?
Ooh. I think last year, New York City. The
Yeah.
New York City trip has been pretty memorable, so
Awesome.
I think that.
All right. And growing up, what did you want to be? When you were a little
I
kid,
wanted
what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a businesswoman.
Nice.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. And last TV show or movie you watched?
Mm, I don't know the name, but I watched it a couple of days ago. It's with Kevin Hart, and he's pretending to be a guy who's getting married's best friend.
Okay.
So the guy who's getting married is paying him to pretend he's his groupmate, and it's pretty cool. I
Awesome.
don't know the name, but
That's all right.
it was fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, welcome to Tardux. So, first of all, I saw a tweet from you last week. I think it was your mom. Your mom had a birthday. How was her birthday?
It was lovely. Thank you.
Excellent.
I see my parents like every weekend,
Oh,
but we
nice.
made sure that weekend was extra special. We went out. It was lovely.
Oh, good. She had a nice day.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. So let's start with video games. When did video games start for you?
Growing up, when we got our first PC, I would say I was like 4 or 5 years old, and that was many years ago, by the way. And I started playing all these video games that all the kids were playing, like Tarzan and Hercules and Chicken Invaders or Space Invaders, something like that.
Yeah.
But then I got more seriously into it when my dad showed me Counter Strike. So I played Counter Strike from a very young age. I started when I was 6,
Oh,
and I
wow.
played for like 10 years. But I never played it competitively or anything like that. And that was before CSGO. So this was like the old school
Mm-hmm.
Counter Strike. Um, I was just playing with my family for fun. But I was
Yeah.
playing it a lot. I loved it. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
And now, what over the years, what have been some of your favorite games?
Honestly, before Fortnite, I have to admit I wasn't much of a gamer.
Yeah.
I never had a console growing up, so I was just playing on PC. And I
Mm-hmm.
told you I was playing Counter Strike, but then I stopped playing CS when I was like 16 because I wanted to focus on my high school experience. And from that age up until Fortnite came out, I didn't play a single game. So I can say I played a lot of games and anything like that. I'm just really into shooter games
Yeah.
because of CS. And I discovered Fortnite and it got me back into gaming. So I would say
Excellent.
Fortnite is my all-time favorite game. I've been playing it since for 5 years, I think. So
Excellent. All
big
right.
fan, big fan.
And now, before you hit that go live button, what is your background?
Um, I was working in marketing. I studied business
Mm-hmm.
administration, and I found my love for marketing there. And I started with an internship at Google, actually.
Wow.
here in Bucharest, and they loved me and they kept me there. And I worked at Google for like almost 4 years, and now I'm a full-time streamer.
Excellent. So you lived your dream. So what you were with, what you wanted to be as a little kid, a businesswoman,
Yeah.
and you ended up being, and then you gave it up, and now you're a creator.
Yeah.
But
I'm living the best life.
but you're still using your business skills because of, essentially what you are is you're a you're a company, your own company.
Yep. I still have so much to learn. And I still think it's very hard as one person to like handle everything, because it's not just marketing, it's everything we do
Right.
ourselves. But it's fascinating. And looking back, I'm proud of what I achieved so far.
Excellent.
But I know I have a lot to learn still.
All right. Now, what made you hit that go live button to begin with?
Just my love for Fortnite. I was playing it for like 6 months, nonstop, every day after work. And I was like, man, I never felt like this about a game. Like, this is crazy. And I was also watching a lot of creators like Nikkei 30, Pokimane, Valkyrie, and a lot of girls too. I
Mm-hmm.
really think having the girls in the community, like, again, Loser Fruit and Loya, back then when Fortnite started becoming a big thing, that really helped. I don't know, it sparked the idea in my head. Like, what if I stream too? Because I love the game. I can get a PC and give it a try. And I loved it since day one. And
Yeah.
I've been grinding ever since.
Awesome. And now, that first time you hit the go live button and, you had strangers come in, what was that experience? We're like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I act?
It it came so naturally. So I was freaking out when I saw the first person. His name was Craig.
Yeah.
I remember him. He was the first person who stopped by chat, and he was just talking about the game, and I found that very, I don't know, it came naturally. Like, we were just having a conversation, and it was like making a new friend.
Yeah.
And I'm a friendly person in general, so when I started streaming, I used to do a lot of community games. Like, someone would come in, follow, I'd be like, come play with us. And that's lovely, because I started like 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
like 4 or 5 years ago, and I still have people in my community who have been here since then.
Oh,
Um,
excellent.
and they're like, I consider them friends just
Yeah.
because I gave them a chance. I was like, let's play, and then I ended up discovering some amazing people, and it's been super fun.
Well, that's the amazing thing about, being a content creator and having your community. Over time, you end up making relationships with people that are stronger than you may have in real life.
True.
Yeah. And now, since going live, what's been some of the harder things to learn or deal with?
I would say maybe balancing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been in the Fortnite scene for a while, and I still haven't found the perfect schedule, the perfect formula. And I want to get better at the game, so that means I need to play to improve.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also want to make content. I want to entertain. So it's like it could get a little overwhelming at times to be
Yeah.
like, how do I even split my day? Like, how do I plan everything? So sometimes it gets overwhelming when it comes to that. But I'm trying to not be too hard on myself. I'm putting in a lot of hours, especially streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I stream quite a few hours every day. So yeah, I'm trying to enjoy the process, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Well, especially with, if you have so much passion and love for something, you always want to do it, but you really need to sort of take some breaks in between. And like you said, trying to find that balance, it's got to be tough.
Yeah. But also balance between like all these social media platforms, because
Mm-hmm.
of course I'm streaming, but then you have to do YouTube, you have to do YouTube Shorts, you have to do TikTok and everything. It's just
Yeah.
it's crazy how
Yeah.
much we got to do, but it's fun. It's fun.
And now, since you hit the go live button, what's been some of the highlights for you that you look back and like, oh my God, I can't believe
Oh,
that happened?
there's a few. My favorites, I think, would be joining an org.
Mm-hmm.
It's been my dream, I think, since I discovered what an org is. Like, when I started playing Fortnite and I saw these big orgs in the scene, and I always knew if I work hard one day I will join
Mm-hmm.
an amazing org. And I got a lot of offers, and I had a lot of teams reach out to me, and I was like, no, I want to wait for the right one.
Nice.
So this was actually the first org I joined last year. It's called Galaxy Racer,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing. I'm very proud because I'm sharing the same org. I mean, the same team was pro players like Quizzy and Malibuka, who are the two best players in Europe, Mama Benji, and then a lot of creators on NA. So very, very, very honored that I managed to join literally the best org in my opinion, GXI. Um, then I was insanely happy when I found out I'm gonna get a locker bundle in Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
I freaked out. It's like I think every creator's dream to have their game in the video game. And the third one would be, I think, having my own tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually crazy how it happened. I was just, giving feedback because we have a lot of girls only tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, guys, why isn't there like an amazing co-ed format, like pro and girl?
Mm-hmm.
And I made it happen. With Epic Games, we had the Reddish Rumble tournament. It was a 25K prize pool event,
Wow.
sponsored by Epic Games. It was a dream. Like we had amazing teams competing, like Clicks and Somerset. I played with Malibuka. Super memorable
Yeah.
because I think for us creators and for us girls especially, getting the chance to play with pro players is really awesome because we get to learn a
Absolutely.
lot and it's fun.
Yeah,
I'm happy
absolutely.
we made it happen.
Excellent. So a couple of points you brought up. First of all, Mama Benji Fish. She was on my pod a couple of weeks ago, and apparently
Yeah.
she tells me you're in her book.
Yeah. That was also one of the highlights. I was so happy. The second the book came out, I got it. And yeah, I have it behind there.
Excellent.
It's an
So
honor. And he's the best.
yes, she is pretty nice person. And then the other aspect you mentioned about being a female content creator. It's great that there's so many female content creators in Fortnite, and then even over the Tarkov space where I started. Even though we're in 2023, there's still some things you have to deal with that it's still unbelievable that there's people like that. How's your experience been?
I agree. Luckily, I don't let it bother me.
Yeah.
And luckily, it doesn't happen often. Like, it's not like every time I go live, I get overwhelmed by hate or anything like that. I think one reason for that is my stream is family friendly. So we have some filters, we have auto mod doing its thing. I have an amazing team of mods. So a lot of times, like I go for weeks and weeks without seeing any bad message in chat, for example, because we have banned some words again. And if someone's been, we're like, we don't want you in the community. Just go watch someone else. Um, so from that aspect, I'm fine. When it comes to playing with others, I don't really play random games that much, like with random people.
Yeah.
So I don't get to experience hate in voice chat a lot either. When I do play, sometimes it happens, but very rarely. Um, but of course, a lot of comments. I still see a lot of people every time there's like a girls only tournament. They get upset, but yeah, it's part of the community, I would say. But I can say I don't know. It's hard for me because I know how to handle it. If someone comes and says you're better at the video game, I'll just show them
Right. Yeah.
how I can play, and then they change their mind. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we have a lot of stereotypes still
Yeah.
going around for sure. But I think it's getting a bit better
Yeah.
because I feel like in time we have more and more examples of girls who know
Mm-hmm.
how to play video games. So now it's not as much as it was like years ago.
Yeah. So now your Twitch partner story. Everybody who's been on that has a Twitch partner, I love hearing their story. How do they end up finding out they became partner? What's your story?
Ooh, I was still working. I don't think I mentioned, but I told you I worked at Google. But
Mm-hmm.
for 2 years, like my last 2 years at Google, I was also streaming.
Oh
So I
wow.
would go to work and then stream at night until 1 a.m. And then, like, it was a full time job. So it was kind of crazy. I did it for 2 years
Yeah.
before I became a full time streamer. And I remember I was actually when I found out I got partnered, I actually took the day off because, of course, I didn't know that's when I would find out. I had a day off because I had a dinner with people from work. And I was like at the very big table with everyone from work. And I got my email. And the first thing I did was call my family. I just called my dad and I talked to my mom and my family. I was like, I got partnered. Yeah, that's crazy. It will be, oh my God, 4 years.
Oh,
My
wow.
four partner anniversary in like a couple of weeks, actually. So it's been a
Excellent.
while. But it was lovely.
Awesome. And now, what does mom and dad think about the whole content creator aspect of thing? Because like when you go to them, yeah, hey, mom, dad, I'm quitting Google, which is like, oh my God, you work for Google. And then, yeah, I'm going to be a streamer. What was their like reaction and everything?
I mean, they're still fascinated by it. It did not come as a surprise because I was making a living.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I wasn't a full time streamer, I was making a living for myself from
Yeah.
streaming. And I spent months to put some money aside to have for rent and stuff. It's not like, I'm gonna just quit, go full time, and with $0 and a lot of rent to pay.
Yeah.
So I was pretty covered from that, and now they always supported me.
Excellent.
They know I was born to do this, and they see the growth. They see growth. They see the support I'm getting from my community. They see how loved I am. So yeah. Plus, this when I told you I wanted to be a businesswoman,
Mm-hmm.
I had this mindset from my dad.
Yeah.
Like growing up, he inspired me to think like that, to
Oh,
think
good.
big, and he always told me like he trusts me with any decision that I'm ever gonna make. He trusts me because he knows how he educated me and my mom as well. So
Yeah.
it was nice to feel that I have their support.
Excellent. That's so important to have, and that's been a common thing for a lot of the content creators that have been on is having a great support, backing, whether it's their spouse or their mom and dad or family or whatnot. It really helps. It's sort of like nice to have that safety net in case, but it gives you the courage to just go out and try it.
Definitely.
And now, when you made that decision to go full time, was there a certain moment that happened, or was it just a gradual increase in your community and you just the momentum that made you like, yeah, I got this?
It was also kind of work related because I was at the point with my job where I kind of had to decide like if I gotta move to another office,
Mm-hmm.
right, for like bigger opportunities. Because Google has offices all over the world. I could
Mm-hmm.
have applied for any job anywhere. So I was like thinking, I started thinking more about my future, and then I realized if I'm making this amount with these little hours
Mm-hmm.
and not posting anything anywhere, like what can happen if I fully focus on my streaming career and really try? And plus, I always think like I left my previous job with like very good relations.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had only like good things to say about me. Everyone knew I was streaming. They supported me. They gave me a stream deck on
Oh,
my
wow.
last day there as a gift. Yeah, they gave me a stream deck. So I always also kind of had this backup plan. Like if streaming doesn't work, I'm sure I'll find a job. Like I had 4 years experience at Google. I worked on so many incredible projects. I had a streaming career as well that of course you can use as experience. So I was never scared like, oh, what's gonna happen if it doesn't work out? But honestly, I didn't even think it won't work out. Like when I went all in, I was like, I know I can do this. I believe in myself, and yeah, it's been an amazing ride. And
Excellent.
yeah, I think I made the right choice.
I think you did. And like you said, you have that 4 years of Google on your resume that, that sticks out. That is something to have on your resume. So yeah, no, you definitely made the right decision. You just look at you watch your stream, you've got a great community, you're so involved with Fortnite, and yeah, no, it's been a good choice for you.
I agree.
So something you talked about a little bit earlier was balancing. How, when it comes to, taking vacation and things like that, how do you incorporate, or do you not have that right now? Just because you're, sort of, guiding through to find the best fit.
Luckily, I got to travel a bit with streaming.
Oh, good.
I went to the United States last year for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It was a crazy experience. I went to San Diego, then LA, then New York, doing something in all of these places. It was lovely. I also went to Dreamhack Sweden last year. But when it comes to, yeah, like family, friends, I try my best to not neglect my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't live with them anymore, but I see them every weekend.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
always
good.
like fresh air whenever I go see them. We either go outside or we spend time together, like having lunch, and it helps me disconnect a bit and
Excellent.
just relax. But then when it comes to vacations and stuff, I haven't been on a vacation in a while.
Yeah.
But it's not because I'm scared, like, oh, people will forget about me. It's just maybe I didn't feel it. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't feel like you need it because
The
the
need,
passion and
yeah.
you're loving what you do.
Yeah. And we have some interesting places. For example, here in Bucharest, we have a place called the Terme.
Hmm.
And it's like a big spa with pools and warm water. And like, if I want to relax, I'll just go there for a
Nice.
day and then come back. But
Excellent.
yeah, honestly, it's not easy to balance. For example, I used to have a lot of friends in high school, and growing up, I had a lot of like friends, best friends, groups of people.
Yeah.
Now I'm like fully disconnected because
Yeah.
I work so hard. I just focus on this, so it's yeah. I
Yeah.
can say, oh, I have the perfect life work balance
Hmm.
because I'm mainly focused on my work. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But at the same time, you are focused on your work, but you do have good working friends, the community, the Fortnite community that you
exactly.
play with and collaborate with.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe that's why I don't feel the need to go out with friends or
Right.
because I have my friends every day. I'm a social person. I talk every day on stream with
Yeah.
everyone. So yeah.
Excellent. So now Fortnite. Let's talk Fortnite. How did you find the game? What was what was what was your path to Fortnite?
Um, it was actually my ex-boyfriend. His brothers told us about the game, and
Hmm.
we were just playing together like squads. He has two brothers, so we were
Yeah.
playing together back when it came out, and we were just playing together, honestly.
Yeah.
But then it's also I think because that's how they found out about it. It's YouTube, I would say. So it was Ninja, Tifu, everybody.
Yeah.
Like the biggest streamers were making content and they were looking like they were having a lot of fun. So you're like, wait, this looks fun, and we gave it a try. And I've only honestly been playing just Fortnite since I discovered Fortnite. I've only been streaming Fortnite, only been playing Fortnite, and I still love it. Like I'm not bored of it
Yeah.
at all.
Streaming started because of Fortnite. How much of a gap was it from you first started playing Fortnite to that first stream you hit the go
Like
live
six
button?
months,
Oh, okay.
like 6 months. Yeah. So I
Ah.
started playing, I think May 2018.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, 6 months after I started streaming.
And now what's the hook Fortnite has on you that, no other game seems to crack?
There's just so much. Like, at first, I can say it was the building aspect. Building was fascinating to me. And
Hmm.
it's lovely because you're never like, oh, I've reached the maximum level. Now I'm bored. Like, you can always keep improving and getting better and trying new things. And for me, the building aspect was what made it so special because I was learning, constantly learning. And also the social aspect as well. Like I'm unlike other streamers you've interviewed, I don't play that much solos.
Hmm.
I love playing with people.
Yeah.
So it's just very fun. It's just very fun. And then Zero Build came out and I like to think I have very good aim, so it's just a fun game.
Yeah. And actually, that's what I was going to ask you. What was your opinion on Zero Bills? Because I've had some people on, and some people are like a fan of it, and some people aren't. What's your take when they came out with Zero Bills?
I'm a big fan now, but I gotta admit, when it came out, I was a bit only because I don't know if Vanessa told you, but they announced the girls only tournament. It was a big one with like massive prize pool, and we were very happy because we love having the chance. And it was actually the first one, so we were super happy with have the chance to prove to everyone they were good at video games and everything. And the tournament happened, I think, like 1 week after Zero Build came out. And
Oh,
if you remember when Zero Build came out, there was no more builds. So the
right.
entire tournament was 6 games of Zero Build.
Oh,
And
no.
at first, like all of us were like, man, we just wanted to show we're good at the game. Like,
Right.
why is it Zero Build, right? But then the more we started playing it, we got second place in that, by the way. So I'm
Nice.
proud. But then as time went by, I started playing it more and more and more, and I realized it's actually not easy. It's
Hmm.
not easy at all. Like Zero Build can be like, it's so easy. It's not. It's actually super competitive. It requires a lot of teamwork, comms, good aim, strategy, positioning. Like it's just as amazing as builds, in my opinion. I can't choose between the two.
Yeah.
I love both of them a lot. So yeah, I find myself playing a lot of Zero Build, honestly, on stream as well. Because yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. I personally, I'd never played Fortnite until Zero Bills, and even in the community, the Tarkov community, when Zero Bills came out, it seemed like a lot of people jumped over. Like you had Lupo come
Hmm.
back, you had Ames, you had a whole bunch of people come back to Fortnite, and it was everybody was having fun with it, and it seemed like it
Seeing
brought,
Tifu pop off in tournaments
yeah,
is nice.
and it seemed like it just brought an influx of new players to the community. Did you see that boost from a streaming standpoint?
I would say so, yeah. There's a lot of people like now sometimes like we used to have a community that loved builds, like doing creative customs and fighting each other in builds. Now it's like more chill. Like people want the chill zero build games when we do community games because it's easier for
Mm-hmm.
everyone.
Yes.
Um, and it's just fun, yeah.
Yeah. And now, do you think, from a competitive standpoint, from a pro standpoint, do you think they'll ever do something where it's a straight zero build tournament or anything like that? Or that's just, you don't touch
They're
that?
actually they're actually doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not FNCS, but
Right.
we have actually, I don't know if you know about all the Dreamhack
Mm-hmm.
tournaments that are coming up. 250,000 prize pool. That's huge.
Yeah.
So every Dreamhack tournament has a 250K prize pool itself. And then whoever gets top 10 in that qualifies to the Saudi LAN event. Saudi LAN is going to be an event that has a $2 million prize pool,
Wow.
and it's just zero bill. So last year they did the same LAN tournament with massive prize pool, but it was half and half. It was half zero bill, half builds.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just zero bill.
Oh,
So
wow.
all the pro players now are competing at DreamHack. Like you see EU pro players traveling to Dallas. I'm going to Dallas right
I
now to
heard,
compete.
yes.
So we're going there to try to get that top 10 because, yeah, Saudi LAN, it's going to be a crazy tournament and it's just zero build.
Yeah.
So we keep seeing more and more and more zero build for sure.
And now, do you think FNCS will follow suit at some point because they see this momentum?
I honestly don't know
Yeah.
because there's no zero build arena anymore. So maybe that's Fortnite's sign of telling us they don't want to take it in that
Mm-hmm.
direction. So maybe they focus the zero build tournaments more like the third party ones.
Yeah.
Like I did my own tournament had zero build and builds. We had Tifu Tuesday, a $100,000 tournament that was
Wow.
just zero build. And I think Epic will look more to sponsor these kind of events for creators
Mm-hmm.
rather than letting everyone participate. And it's kind of tricky. Like I don't know if the others mentioned when they do host in-game tournaments in zero build, the cheater situation is kind of crazy.
I've
Like there
seen,
every tournament there's cheaters, aimbotters, and I think I don't know, maybe they want to stay a bit away
yeah,
from massive in-game tournaments where they don't have control over who's playing
true.
and focus more on invitationals maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. And now, over the years, what has Epic done to keep Fortnite on the cusp of one of the better, best esports games out there?
A lot of updates. I
Yeah.
have never heard of a game that has as many updates, map changes, and yeah, I think just the updates,
Yeah.
honestly. Super fun maps as well. The seasons, the
Yeah.
chapters, everything is just perfectly tied together, I would say.
Now, is there anything you would like to see changed or added that they took out, or that I have this, I want this in Fortnite? Anything that sticks out in particular?
Maybe the pump. I miss it. I like the guns right now.
Yeah.
I love the red dot ARs. I'm so happy they have red dot ARs in the game now because before they didn't have any.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I miss my pump.
And you said earlier you like to play with a team versus solo.
Yeah, I prefer to play with the team. Yeah,
Yeah. Now, do you have a regular crew that you normally roll with, or is just sort of like who's available?
my red squad.
Red squad. Okay, so who's in the red squad?
The red squad is my community, so I play a lot with my community still.
Nice.
After all these years, it's still one thing I absolutely love because they're very good and they're very fun, and I
Mm-hmm.
love getting to know people from my community. So I love playing with them. I play the most with them, but then of course I have a lot of streamer friends I like to play with, including a lot of people you've had on the
Yeah.
podcast. I'm friends with most of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also have to mention Ruby, who's a EU streamer. But I find myself playing a lot on NA, not gonna.
Yeah.
Because I'm EU, but I have a lot of friends over 20. And luckily, Zero Build allows us to play on other regions without too much trouble.
Yeah. That's
Like the
good.
ping doesn't matter as much. If I'm in Zero Build and I play on NA servers, it
Hmm.
doesn't affect my aim or anything. So we can play.
Good. And now, how would you describe a Reddish stream for somebody who's never seen you stream before? What are they expecting when they come into your community?
Honestly, good vibes. I never really get triggered, and I'm a very happy person in
Hmm.
general. And I think so is my community. So I would say people should come for my Red Squad, for my community. They're very welcoming and they're very friendly. And I've honestly seen them create friendships for life in chat. That's great. I'm very, very happy to see we have such a friendly community. But yeah, when it comes to content on stream, I'm honestly all over the place when
Yeah.
it comes to Fortnite because I'm not the kind of streamer that just does solos and is very good at solos. I do everything. So I play trio, squads, I play arena, I like competitive, I play tournaments, I play zero build tournaments, I don't know, we do memes with other streamers, but
Yeah.
then we also sweat with the community. So it's like a mix of everything. I would just say if you like Fortnite, come give the stream a chance. But I'm not like focused on one thing
Yeah.
because I love this game so much and I love all the modes and
Yeah.
trying different things.
Now, with that being said, loving all the modes. So, say tomorrow Epic announces Fortnite is coming to an end. How are you spending your last hour playing Fortnite? What mode are you playing?
Oh no. I would host a big creative lobby, I think,
Yeah.
with like everyone. I mean, not creative, custom lobby with everyone, like 100 people. I'd be like, guys, everybody gather together and probably it would be, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a hide and seek. I
Okay.
think I'll host a hide and seek custom for fun, for
Uh,
the memories.
Excellent. All right. So, out of all the Fortnite events you've participated in the tournaments, what's been your favorite so far? Was it hosting your own tournament?
Yes,
Y-
that was one of my favorites. But I don't know if my favorite because I played with Malibuka, who's amazing. And my tournament was split in two. It was builds and
Mm-hmm.
then zero builds. So we had 4 games and 4 games. After the builds part, we were second place. So it was going amazing. Then zero build, because it was a new meta, we messed up and
Oh.
it was bad. So I can't say that was my favorite tournament, honestly. It was nice to be the host. It was nice to see my name and my face
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Click's head in his title, the Reddish Rumble tournament. So it was cool.
Excellent.
But from a playing perspective, honestly, I love all the co-ed tournaments I
Yeah.
play in. Like I play a lot of in-game tournaments, but of course I don't do as well because I don't spend a lot of time to prepare for them. But then when it comes to co-ed tournaments where I can play with pro players like again Malibuka or Queasy or
Mm-hmm.
Npen, every time I play in those, I have so much fun and I won a couple of them as well. So it's
Nice.
just yeah, it's a nice experience to play with someone who knows what they're doing and to be able to keep up as well.
Right. And now if you don't play with somebody a whole lot, is there a lot of like things you have to work out to like, your comms, or pretty much all the call outs are similar because everybody sort of uses the same call outs?
Uh, I I think it's very easy to play with someone new
Yeah.
because a lot of times I would reach out to a streamer, or a streamer reaches out to me like, "Yo, let's play," and then we end up winning like every game
Yeah.
because yeah, comps are it's more about the vibes, I would say.
Yeah.
So if you just are in a happy mood and they're in a you make it happen. Like the wins and
Yeah.
the chemistry comes pretty fast in Fortnite, I would say.
Okay. And now speaking of the Fortnite community, how would you describe the Fortnite community?
Hmm. It's tricky because there's the Fortnite community is like split. You have the competitive
Yeah.
side that likes to complain. You have the, the streamer side. It's kind of I think it's very split and it's very
Yeah.
diverse. I
Mm-hmm.
would say it's very diverse because you have girls, guys,
Yeah.
kids, adults. It's I'll just say diverse.
That's a really good answer. And now, from a pro standpoint, because I haven't had many pros on, what are the pros? Why do the I guess let's see. How can I word this properly? What are the complaints that the pros have that, about the game that they don't like or they want to see changed?
A lot of times it's kind of outside of the competitive teams. reach, like they can't do much about it. But sometimes, I don't know, for example, right before an FNCS, they removed an entire POI. I
Oh,
think Mr. Savage was landing there, and then boom, it was gone. Like because of an update that
yeah.
happened in Fortnite, they removed an entire place from the map, and these people were like, "Okay, but that's where I'm landing, and FNCS is in like what 1 week?
Oh,
What am I supposed to do?"
yeah.
So sometimes I think all the complaints are caused by updates.
Yeah.
So let's say they add the ODM, and they're like, "Okay, you added the ODM. We have the tournaments. We have FNCS. Why did you add this? Because it's so OP and it shouldn't be in competitive, destroying our builds and stuff." So a lot of times the complaints are because of that,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's kind of tricky because Fortnite wants to keep the game fun.
Yeah.
So of course updates happen, and they can't split what happens in pubs from what happens in competitive too much. So a lot of times, yeah, there are some clashes there, but
Okay.
at the end of the day, pros are smart and they adapt no
Yeah.
matter what. Like for example, this season we've seen so many changes with the zones, like literally the entire way the game works in endgame has changed like
Yeah.
this season, and it even changed from like week to week. They were adapting things and changing right before each tournament. So yeah, I think pro players know how to adapt, but when you see them you see them complain, it's because of that.
Okay, makes sense. All right, so now Galaxy Racer. You talked about earlier. That's your org. How did you find out that they were going to invite you to the team, to the org?
Oh, so it's crazy because I was actually in the process of, like, I was in very advanced discussions with like two other orgs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I almost signed, and then I was very lucky because Spencer, who is the head of talent at Galaxy Racer NA, reached out to me, and we ended up talking, and we made it happen. I think I was very lucky because I saw he had made a tweet saying, "Yo, we want to sign creators. Who should we sign?" And I saw a lot of people from the industry vouching for me. So I saw other org owners that I had talked with like months before. They were like, "Yo,
Yeah.
Reddysh is really cool. You should check her out." So I saw a lot of people vouching for me, and then I saw, okay, he reached out, and everything just clicked. I was
Mm-hmm.
already a big fan of GXR because of Quizzy and Malibuka. Again, two of the best people ever in the pro scene. So yeah, it's been an honor, honestly.
Awesome. And now you've done some traveling, Twitch cons, Dreamhacks, and whatnot. So I saw a lot of pictures from your trip last year. It looked like you had such an amazing time.
Yep. I
And
like traveling.
now, was that your first Fortnite, the one in San Diego, or had you been to others previously?
I think the first big event I went to was TwitchCon Amsterdam last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year was the year I started traveling because before that we had COVID,
Yeah.
so yeah, there wasn't much going on. So I went to TwitchCon Amsterdam, and I went there mainly for my community. I got to meet people from my community,
Mm-hmm.
but we also had a dinner with some Epic partners. So I got to meet people because it was in Europe. It was a lot of creators from
Mm-hmm.
Italy, Poland, France. It was really international, let's say.
Yeah.
And then my next one was Dreamhack Sweden, where it was completely different. Like there, it was mainly pro players, not
Mm-hmm.
that many creators. People were focusing more on the gameplay. And then yeah, TwitchCon San Diego was the biggest one because that's where I met a lot of creator friends.
Yeah.
Like a lot, a lot.
So something I've a lot of the people who've been on would talk about when they go to TwitchCon, they go there, whether it's their first time, they're seeing sort of like their idols or people they look up to, and then they turn around and there's the community looking up to them. It's like a unique
Ah.
experience. How was your did you experience the same thing at the ones you went to?
For sure, for sure. In Amsterdam, I was lucky. I went to both because
Mm-hmm.
they were both different. Like TwitchCon Amsterdam versus San Diego. In Amsterdam, I had like tens of people from my community traveling just to meet me and to meet each other.
Yeah.
So I spent almost all my time with them. I spent only like a few hours, like with other creators. I was lucky there weren't that many other creators from night there at TwitchCon. I had, for example, Mama Benji that I got to hang out with, and
Mm-hmm.
Loser Fruit. Loser Fruit reached out to me one morning. She was like, "Wait, you're here. Let's hang out." I was like, "Oh my god, like as you said, I look up to you." And I got a DM from her like, "Yo, let's meet up." And we made some TikToks together and stuff like that. But TwitchCon Amsterdam for me was about my community, honestly, because we
Mm-hmm.
spent all the time together. Every night we went together. We went clubbing together. Like
Oh
it was
wow.
amazing. But then TwitchCon San Diego, that was different. Like there it was mainly the streamers, the creators. I got to hang out with a lot of people I had met online. There were also outside of TwitchCon a lot of parties and events.
Mm-hmm.
We also had the party for the launch of Galaxy Racer NA,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm signed to Galaxy Racer NA, and I was the first creator they signed actually.
Oh, wow.
So we had like a massive party with creators. Then I went to the Liquid party because Alina invited me. And then the Epic Games night was lovely. We had a dinner and the party, and I got to meet my streamer friends, but also people like Nick30, for example, and
Yeah.
Cypher PK, and I got a chance to talk to them. It was great. So yeah, it
Excellent.
was kind of like different experiences, but both amazing.
Yeah. And then I saw pictures of you from New York. You looked like you had an amazing time in New York.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but I was super lucky. They invited me to the movie premiere of Black Adam. It was like the worldwide premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Beast was there, and The Rock, and we had front row seats right in front of the cast. It was
Yeah.
crazy. And yeah, that was my first time ever walking the red carpet.
Awesome.
So it was a cool experience, and it was perfectly tied together because I was gonna travel for TwitchCon San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
and then the premiere was like a few days after that. So GXR was down to keep me in NA for longer so I can attend the premiere, which was great. And they, in fact, also, like, that's why I'm saying GXR is the best. We also had the women's tournament, the
Mm-hmm.
Women of the Arena tournament. It happens all the time. We had a big women's only tournament coming up. And when they do those, they're always on NA servers. And it's always like half zero build nowadays and half builds.
Mm-hmm.
Build is very hard to play from EU on NA servers. It's very laggy. So I was like, what if I played from New York, the tournament? So GXR extended my stay by like 5 days or something in New York just so I can play the
Oh,
girls
wow.
tournament from New York. And it was great.
Excellent.
So it was like a 2 week trip filled with a lot of meetups with streamers and creators and
Yeah.
friends, but also experiences like playing the tournament on zero ping and the red carpet event. It was awesome.
And now, what did you think of New York City?
I honestly loved it. That was
Yeah.
not my first time in New
Oh,
York.
okay.
I went back in 2016 with like a school project,
Oh, wow.
but it was great. I love New York.
Yeah.
Like I spent a lot of hours just walking around the city. It was just so beautiful with
Nice.
the tall buildings. It was great.
Excellent. And now you're coming back to America in June, I understand, for the is it Dreamhack tournament or
Yep.
yeah.
In Dallas, Dreamhack tournament. Yep.
Now, have you been to Dallas before?
No, never.
Oh, Texas is so many content creators live in Texas in that area, so I'm sure you'll see a bunch of them.
That's why I'm going because the way it works, so we have Dallas, then
Mm-hmm.
the weekend after is the Redbull event in Scotland, and then one weekend after we have Dreamhack Sweden.
Oh, wow.
So I knew I wanted to do one Dreamhack. I knew I didn't want to do 3 Dreamhacks because I don't want to be away from my setup for 3 weekends.
Right.
So I was convinced I would go to Dreamhack Sweden because that's the one I went to last year and it's close to home.
Mm-hmm.
But then I reached out to GXR. I was like, guys, why go Sweden? And I'm down to go Dallas. Can I go Dallas instead of Sweden? And like 2 days after, they're like, yeah, sure, let's do that. Because Quizy and Malibuka and Mama Benji, they are going to all of them. So we'll just bring the entire crew together there and
Excellent.
it's going to be great.
And then you say you're doing a Red Bull event in Scotland?
Yes, the one from Twitter that I talked about. Yeah, it's gonna be very hard because it's solos. I
Yeah.
told you I don't even play that much solos, and it's builds.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be like 95 plus tier 1 pro players
Oh,
from all over
wow.
the world. So they invited NA pros, U pros, Asia pros, Middle East pros. So everyone's gonna be there. And then there's also Reddish. So I know there's a lot of pressure. Like I see all the girls being like, "Oh my God, you're representing the girls community." But I hope people don't necessarily see it that way. I hope everyone understands competing against tier 1 pro players who have made grand finals and have a lot of experience is not gonna be easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try my best to enjoy the experience,
Exactly.
and
It's
I'm just very honored I got chosen for that.
Yep.
Honestly, out of everyone they could have invited, very happy they chose me.
that is a really cool cool invitation. Awesome.
It's a 100,000
Holy
prize pool
cow.
even.
Any other events you want to do before the year is out? Any other goals?
I want to go to Saudi to the big land. But to go there, I either have to qualify and be top 10 in Dallas, which is gonna be very hard, um, or I have to get invited to that.
Yeah.
But chances are very, very low because they only have 20 spots for people to invite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I would love to go there because I've heard a lot from people who went last year to the $2 million land. So
Wow. Who
I don't
knows?
know. We'll see.
You may kick some serious butt in Texas.
I hope so. I have
Yeah.
an amazing duo and we're gonna get on the grind. And it's zero build.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at zero build. So who knows? Who knows?
Excellent. All right. So now, when you're not behind the computer creating content, what do you like to do away outside?
Mm, just chill.
Yeah.
I honestly don't have other hobbies or big activities I'm into. I used to be into dancing and I did ballet growing up, but now I'm just chilling when I'm
Yeah.
not streaming. Like I'm either when I'm not streaming, I'm either doing something for the stream,
Yeah.
like editing my own clips or networking, social media stuff, or I'm just chilling.
Yeah. Actually, that brings up a good point. From a content creation standpoint, you have to be your marketing person. You have to be your editing, your tech support person. All of those things. From an editing standpoint, did you do any editing before jumping live into stream, or was that your first time?
I actually don't think I did. I knew like the Adobe tools. Like I was really into graphic design before, so I knew Photoshop and Illustrator. And when I got into Premiere Pro, I found it pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think it's easy with all the resources and tools we have nowadays. I think it's very easy to get into it. So I'm editing my own short clips. Everything you see on TikTok is edited by me.
Yeah.
But I'm slowly getting support from GXR for long form content,
Good.
especially because I feel like it's needed. Like for me, it takes way too much time to edit my long form videos. So slowly getting into that as well.
Yeah, that's a lot of the people who have been on who've been doing this for many years. I ask them, what would they change if they could go back, and they say they would have hired an editor to take care of that piece of it because it just for long form content, it's time consuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still have to work on that. Like, there's a lot of missed opportunities in my case for sure. Like a lot of tournaments I've played or a lot of content I've made
Yeah.
that just never made it to YouTube because I was like, I'm gonna edit this myself, and then I start, and then yeah, then I like give up. So definitely, I see a lot. For example, Loserfood, she's had the same editor for years, and they make the best team.
Yeah.
And it's easy for her to come up with content. She just records, gives it to him, and he knows what to do to make it pop
Yeah.
off. So this is what I was talking about when I mentioned the balance. That's kind of what I'm trying to find now, the right balance between streaming and that.
Yeah.
Because if I figure that out, it will help a lot for sure.
Absolutely. All right. So now, are there any other content creators out there that are flying under the radar that people should check out? Some people in your community, maybe?
There's so many. Everyone I play with, please check all of them out. I like to, every time I play with them, I put their @ in the title, and I'm
Nice.
always encouraging them to check out. I don't know, just keep an eye on the GXR people.
Yeah.
I love, ever since I joined GXR, my whole community has been very supportive of the pro players, especially, for example, Malibuka and Quizzy. Both of them are streaming. They're streaming tournaments. They're streaming how they play arena. So my community now is very, like, supportive of them just because I'm, like, their cheerleader. So I always encourage people to check out Galaxy Racer people, the creators as well, like Peach and Captain Wheelies, and Leah and Shorty. So definitely check out the GXR creators. But then I'm friends, I think, with almost everyone in the community. Like everyone you've had on the broadcast, Swearing, Vanessa, Maddie, like Sparkles,
Yeah.
just so many talented people. So just give everyone a chance. Just
Yeah.
open 20 tabs, watch all of us.
You
They
bring
all
up,
deserve it.
you bring up a good point there. There's so many good people in the Fortnite community. This in the not the kids area, but from people we're watching and who you play with. They're just everybody seems to have such a good attitude and just really
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah, and not just the big creators only. Like there's so many, as you said, like up and coming or undiscovered talent, super funny people. which is why I love playing with others.
Yeah.
Because we get to discover and hear their voices.
Yeah.
So it's great.
So, well, you made it through a Tartux podcast, but before you go, you have to call out somebody who you think has a good story that should come on.
I would love for you to get Ruby.
Okay.
Ruby Plays. She's a content creator for Guild, and she's pretty cool. She's gonna be huge
Awesome.
very soon. And she's also coming to Redbull Land. We were both invited.
Excellent.
It would be cool to
All
have
right.
her.
There we go. You've been called out, Ruby.
Yeah.
Well, Reddish, thank you so much for doing this, and best of luck to you on your trip to Dallas and to
Thank you.
Scotland.
I'm so excited, and thank you for having me. I'm happy we got to hang out.
Yes, it was awesome.